At the cliff's edge, Badger and Ling Hua looked down into the crater where Xiaoling's half-burned figure surfaced. Tears welled in Badger's eyes as he stammered, "Xiaoling, her body, why has she turned into that?" Ling Hua, her beautiful face still marked with bruises, frowned and answered sorrowfully, "She has overused her own power. Her body has been completely inflamed, and can't return to its original form for now." Badger's expression darkened as Ling Hua added to her explanation. The honey badger coughed harshly, "Caw, caw," before spitting out several mouthfuls of fresh blood. His injuries were severe. His entire body was wrapped in white bandages, and traces of dried blood still clung to his fur and lips. Looking ahead, he asked weakly, "Where is Xiaoling? Is she still alive?" At that very moment, within a deep volcanic crater filled with molten lava, a familiar figure slowly emerged from the fiery surface. That figure was none other than Xiaoling, her entire body cloaked in blazing red magma. Softly, "It will take several years before she can fully recover." Xiaoling hung her head low, motionless. Her whole body glowed a molten red, radiating heat so intense that no one dared approach. Just then, the ground beneath them began to tremble violently. The island surface tilted and swayed as Ani Badger and Ling Hua shouted in alarm. An earthquake. Above them, Yui appeared in midair. He calmly surveyed the surroundings before muttering, "Something's not right." Sensing the looming danger, Yui's voice rose sharply, "It's the Great Emperor. He's found us." No sooner had his words fallen than countless spatial cracks split open across the sky. From within those rifts, the enormous heaven-piercing tree extended its massive crimson roots, tearing through the barrier that concealed the island. Lin Fang's face grew grim as he shouted, "He found this place so quickly." Beside him, though still gravely wounded, Pink Dragon steeled herself, gathering what little strength she had left. She gathered all her strength to prepare for battle. From beneath the waves, the mermaid surfaced, clenching her teeth in fury. Phoenix spread her wings wide, gazing up toward the turbulent sky. Golden Monkey, standing beside Shiji, watched the widening spatial cracks in stunned silence. He knew another brutal battle was about to begin. Crack! In an instant, several blazing red tendrils of the heaven-piercing tree pierced through the space barrier and shot downward, stabbing deep into the earth. More and more roots appeared, intertwining tightly into a single massive structure. The next second, the Great Emperor emerged at the heart of those crimson tendrils. Like an actor stepping through a scarlet curtain, his long, narrow eyes gleamed with a chilling light. He had now ascended to the extraordinary rank 6 spirit form. Seeing him, Yu shouted with urgency, "Everyone run. I'll hold him off. Even if it's only for a few minutes. Use that time to escape and wait for our master's return." As soon as his words fell, the submerged battleships under Yui's command surged upward from beneath the sea, writhing into the air. With a grim expression, Yui roared, "Attack!" The battleships, following his command, charged toward the Great Emperor. But with a mere wave of his hand, the Great Emperor's crimson spiritual energy enveloped them. Boom! In a blinding flash, the battleships exploded one after another, shattered by the overwhelming power of his spirit force. When the smoke cleared, the unshaken figure of the Great Emperor stood amidst the devastation. In the blink of an eye, he vanished, only to reappear right beside Yui. Feeling his presence, Yui's eyes whitened in disbelief. Before he could utter another word, his body was cleaved cleanly in half by the Great Emperor's strike. Witnessing the scene before him, Golden Monkey was struck with astonishment. Dumb with shock, the two halves of Yu's body fell limply to the ground like a torn rag. From above, the Great Emperor stood tall, gazing coldly down at the surviving spirit beasts struggling to flee. His voice echoed with icy dominance. "I've sealed off this entire island. None of you will escape." From beneath the waves, a 5-headed serpent suddenly burst forth. 3 of its heads had already been severed, and with the 2 remaining, it hissed furiously, "Ki. Its voice filled with rage and despair. Cornered and with nothing left to lose, the serpent lunged outward in a suicidal charge. But the Great Emperor merely lifted his hand. A terrifying surge of spiritual power, laced with the might of the Thunderlaw King, erupted outward. A flash of blue light cut through the air, and in an instant, another of the serpent's heads was sliced clean off. The Great Emperor's tone was mocking as he remarked calmly, "Now you're short one more head." From behind him, the Mermaid Queen appeared, her face twisted with fury. With a shout, she thrust her trident forward, hurling herself toward the Great Emperor. Boom! The ground beneath the Great Emperor exploded violently. Amid the smoke and flying debris, a figure was sent crashing down the Mermaid Queen. She landed hard among the rubble, coughing up several mouthfuls of blood. Pub. Grinding his teeth, Golden Monkey roared and charged. His body suddenly expanded, golden fur bristling as his size grew several-fold. He poured all his spiritual energy into his fist and swung it forward with everything he had. Boom! His massive punch collided with an unseen barrier of overwhelming force. The next second, a sickening crack rang out. Golden Monkey's arm was shattered into pieces. He froze in disbelief, eyes wide. The arm. Below, Shaji's eyes glowed as she unleashed her power. A ray of petrifying energy burst from her gaze, streaking toward the great emperor. But with just a casual wave of his hand, he conjured a massive boulder before him, blocking the attack completely. The beam hit the boulder harmlessly, dissolving into sparks of spiritual light. The great emperor glanced at her, his tone cold and disdainful. Your power is useless. The moment there's an obstacle, it becomes meaningless. Last time, I only destroyed one of your eyes. This time, I'll take the other. Seeing that none of them could even touch him, the honey badger gritted his teeth and charged headlong at the great emperor. With another effortless motion, the great emperor flicked his wrist. Boom! The honey badger's body was sent flying backward, crashing into a boulder with explosive force. Then it was the dragon clan's turn. Several dragon warriors roared as they charged forward in unison. The great emperor narrowed his eyes, and suddenly an immense wave of power erupted from within him. A massive, crimson sphere of spiritual energy began to form in his hands, rapidly expanding until it engulfed the sky itself. Its sheer destructive force radiated over the entire island,